already used it in one video, but I'm recording multiple today, so. So, back to the stuff Dutch people like. Where were we? Dairy. Here we see a cute little cow. Yeah, in the Netherlands we do love our cheese. Dutch people like milk products a lot. Even if you know very little about Dutch people who have just arrived in the Netherlands, you will soon observe the Dutch predilection for dairy. In most other cultures, milk is only a staple of children's diets. As children age, milk is eventually phased out as their beverage of choice. In the Netherlands, however, milk remains popular well into adulthood. Step into any Dutch office lunchroom and you'll be confronted by rows of Dutch men and women happily slurping on cartons of milk at mealtime. Yeah, apparently the Dutch did not get the North American memo that milk is only for children. Pair a simple cheese sandwich with a carton of milk and you are now consuming the nation's most popular luncheon meal. Need proof of this penchant? Just look at their height. The Dutch tower over all nations and are now the tallest people in the world. The average adult male in the Netherlands is 6 feet 1 inch, 1.85 meters. Dutch people's height appears to be contagious. Immigrants living in the Netherlands are taller on average than their homebred counterparts. After all, as the popular Dutch television adverts proclaim, melk moet. Milk is a must. Can't speak today. 72% of Dutch cheese is exported, the third largest cheese exporter. I think France and maybe Italy, like they have mozzarella and stuff, and France they have camembert and stuff like that, so we're probably number 3. And list of Dutch cheese. Yeah. Edam, Gouda, Leerdammer, Leiden, Maaslander, Maasdam, and Parano. These are Dutch cheeses. I think Gouda, as English people pronounce it, is the most popular. Another thing we love is going camping. Every year in July, an exodus hits the lowlands. Dutch people flee their flat little country en masse. The oddity isn't so much that they are leaving, who can blame them, but the fact that Dutch people exit in a very peculiar and strikingly similar manner. Come 5:30 sharp on a Friday, they hit the highways in their fully stocked car caravan, brimming with supplies. What on earth is happening? And where are these thousands of Dutch people headed? It's vakantietijd. So what do the Dutch bring on vacation? Well, 48% of us bring licorice, 47% bring hagelslag, 37% bring peanut butter. The hagelslag are the chocolate sprinkles that we put on sandwiches. 56% of us bring our own toilet paper, and 49% of us bring cheese. Here you'll see there's a lot on the road during vakantietijd. In July, a car pulling a caravan. Another thing we have a lot of are windmills. Now, we don't have that many in use anymore, but we still have a lot that you can visit, and some are still in use. Apart from these uncomfortable wooden shoes, you know the ones. No one wears them anymore. There's possibly no other Dutch object as iconic as the windmill. Not surprisingly, the widespread use of the windmill was a result of two very cardinal Dutch traits, practicality and necessity. A lot of wind blows over this flat little country, and windmills provided a cheap and efficient power source, enabling the Dutch to saw wood planks for shipbuilding, grind grains, make paper and hammer metals. We also have some expressions. English is hard today, referring to windmills. De molen gaat niet om met wind die voorbij is, which means the windmill doesn't care about the wind that came before. And the meaning is, don't worry yourself with the past, or the past is the past. Een klap van de molen gekregen hebben, been hit by a windmill, to describe someone who is irrational and not making sense. Dat is koren op zijn molen. That is grist, ground grain, to his mill, that which supports or strengthens his own argument. Tegen windmolens vechten, to fight with windmills, to describe the futility of a fight, to fight a losing battle. Another thing apparently very Dutch is picking our noses. And the person here you see picking his nose is our king, and this is his wife, our queen. And he's picking his nose and then holding it. I didn't know that was very Dutch, but let's see what they have to say about it. I was at a trade fair in Asia, and companies from almost every country in the world were present, showing their local products for export. A colleague and I were manning our stand, and to pass the time we decided to play the "What country do you think they're from" game. We started with the stand across the aisle. 4 tall, blonde men in company branded polo shirts were busy arranging the materials. My co-worker declared that they were either A, German, B, Dutch, or C, Danish. We collectively ruled out C, but were torn between A and B. To make the game more interesting, I wagered a bet of €20, and we gave ourselves 5 more minutes to study our subjects. After 5 minutes, my friend gave up. I too was going to concede when, almost in slow motion, I saw one of the men's hands slowing, making its way towards his face. His index finger was held erect as it was forcefully shoved into his left nostril. I got it, I shouted excitedly. Dutch, 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 my money's on Dutch. My friend was shocked by my sudden clarity. He's picking his nose, I squealed up proudly. Dutch men pick their nose in public. They do? With a look of disbelief, my friend marched over to their booth, struck up a brief conversation, and soon gave me the thumbs up behind her back. Sure enough, I was the winner. The nose picker was indeed Dutch. We are happy to be the first to put it out there. Dutch people like to pick their noses. They must like it because they do it all the time. It's one thing to pick sorry, I'm a child. To pick your nose in the privacy of your own home, but Dutchies appear to be quite alright with committing this offence in public and without shame. The Dutch paper Gezond Nu conducted a study in the Netherlands and found that over 90% of Dutch people admit to picking their noses. Moreover, half of the respondents said they did so more than once a day. Even stranger was the fact that nearly 50% of all Dutch people find nose picking to be disgusting when they see others doing it. The study further stated that over a third of Dutchmen report that they like to draai er een balletje van en schiet dat weg, which means roll it in a ball and flick it. Make it stop. We'll admit that this appears to be mainly a men thing. Just take a look around. Dutch men picking their noses can be found everywhere. On the metro and cars, on bikes, at work, you name it. I never saw that before. Is that still a thing that Dutch men do? The bottom line, picking your nose in public is gross and barbaric. Don't do it. Not even if the king thinks it's appropriate royal behaviour. Stefan can't stop laughing. I can't stop laughing, it's so true, and we love our king for it. Sign of being a real human, not some trained pet. I guess so. Chess says, OMG, so true. I see it everywhere, and indeed, only men. I always have plaatsvervangende schaamte, which means like when you're cringing for someone else. When I see a man digging his way up to his brain. Another thing we love is fries with mayo, and I think we do sometimes put like curry or ketchup or something on our fries, but most of the time it's mayonnaise. And you will see this everywhere. This is not old-fashioned or anything. You can find a bag of fries like this anywhere. Call them what you will. Friet, friets, patat, Vlaamse frieten. Doesn't matter, everyone focus. But one thing is for sure, the Dutch can't seem to get enough of them. In fact, they love them so much that they eat over 41 million kilos of these bad boys per year. I wouldn't want your brains to explode, so I'll kindly do the maths for you. That equals 2.5 kilos of fries per Dutchie per year. That's a lot. Oh my. In English, we refer to them as French fries, but the French can't take claim for this invention. Sadly, neither can the Dutch. Fries, in fact, originated from the Dutch people's favourite neighbour, Belgium. Yeah, we actually have French fries, which are like McDonald's fries when they're very thin. And these here are cut a bit thicker, and we call them Belgian fries. I prefer Belgian fries to French fries most of the time. French fries are a bit more salty because there's less potato. You just taste the salt and the fat better, but Belgian fries I feel like have more taste overall and a better like feel in your mouth. Licorice. Now licorice, until at least a few years ago, maybe still, but that's the last study I saw, was the most sold candy in the Netherlands. Dutch people eat more than 4 pounds of licorice per person per year. I don't know what pounds is to kilos, but the Dutch drop licorice comes in a variety of different flavors and genres. There are four primary types of drop: soft and sweet, soft and salty, hard and sweet, hard and salty. I prefer the soft and sweet ones. Forcing drop or licorice on unsuspecting foreigners. Dutch people have yet another licorice-related love. Forcing drop, the licorice, onto unsuspecting foreigners. We can only assume this behavior is some sort of Dutch taste bud superiority test, or perhaps a way of testing how Dutch someone is or has the potential to become. One's very funny as well. When Anglophone says, "How are you?" when Anglophone means hello. But a Dutch person instead, he wants to know exactly how I am feeling and I have to give an accurate and truthful answer. I never get that. Why would you ask a question when you mean hello? It's annoying. I get flustered when someone says, "How are you?" because I know you don't want to hear how I am. But I don't want to say good when I'm not. And I won't say hello back to a question. It's weird. Just say hello. I'm very Dutch in that way. Correct me if I'm wrong. I know I'm right, but she's unsure of what she's saying. Well, don't say correct me if I'm wrong. Maybe I do. In my last video I said I'm not that about, I don't love the directness. But this is a bit annoying. Don't say something when you mean something else. I guess I am a bit more Dutch than I thought. I like our directness, kind of. That's not bad. That's quite good to very good. That's mediocre at best. Yeah, when you say that's not bad. If you mean good, say good. I love our directness. I just found out this is making me angry. Perhaps you would like to think about... I would really suggest you think about this. A suggestion, but I can do what I like. Yeah, you say perhaps. You want to think about. Just say, I need you to do this. You need to do this. I was a bit disappointed that I'm quite upset with you. Not really important. You were a bit disappointed. That's not that important. Say what you mean. Please think about that some more. That idea I urge you to reconsider. They like the idea. That's interesting. I might be mildly interested. They're impressed. You must come for dinner sometime. Just being polite, not an invitation. I will receive an invitation very soon. Yeah, why would you say you have to come to dinner sometime and not mean it? Then don't say it. It's not a lot of effort to not say it. That is an original point of view. You're just silly. They like my ideas. Yeah, because they said they did. I hear you. I agree with you. Not sure if she agrees with or not. Yeah, to just hear you. If you agree, just say agree. In my humble opinion, I'm not really humble, and you're wrong. He's unsure of his position. Now, some of these I know, but it's still kind of annoying. Just say what you mean. That's our Dutch directness. Keeping it real. The Dutch are big fans of authenticity and take pride in the genuine. In short, they like to keep it real. This behavior is closely related to the Calvinist doe normaal, be normal attitude, and is often used to justify Dutch people's infamous directness. Now, I don't like that. Always saying, do it normal, do it my way, or you're doing it the wrong way. Just live and let live, I say. I really don't like this. But yeah, American fakeness. Speak to any Dutch person after they've returned from a trip to America and they are sure to mention American fakeness in their travel tales. The Dutch are allergic to the American "good morning, how y'all doing" lingo. They shudder when entering the American shore, only to be greeted by those 5 annoying little words. How are you doing today? None of your business, I don't know you. So I don't like the be normal thing, but don't ask me how I'm doing when you don't want to know how I'm doing. It's a fairly innocent question for North Americans or Brits, but for the Dutch it is downright scandalous. Why are they asking? Why do they care? They don't even wait for my answer. Yeah, that's the worst thing. Don't ask a question and then don't wait for the answer. Why would you? I think I'm more Dutch than I thought. The Dutch are a reticent bunch, and overt American-type friendliness is so foreign to them that it's downright offensive. Of course the teenage girl folding sweaters in the Gap doesn't really care how you're doing. Of course the waitress serving your fries is actually asking to hear about your awful day. What the Dutch don't seem to understand is that the asking of how are you is a gesture of friendliness rather than a formal inquisition into the state of your mental well-being. The Dutch can in fact learn a thing or two from the American customer is king attitude. Usually the customer's not king. Usually they're wrong. It's a well-known fact that Dutch customer service is a bit rough around the edges. Yeah, I think British service is the best. Like the one I got in Scotland, they are all so nice, but it doesn't seem fake. Like they all seem like they are genuinely having a good day, and that's why they're nice. And they do wait for an answer if they ask a question. American comedian Seth Meyers summed it up best. When I was in Amsterdam, people's big complaint about America was that the waiters were fake nice. In Amsterdam, the waiters generally fucking hate you. I would too. In Amsterdam, the waiters generally fucking hate you. I don't know. I prefer British. It was nice, but not fake nice. Here, they're not nice at all. In America, they're fake nice, and you can just smell the fakeness. And in Britain, they're just nice. And people are genuinely nice. Names that sound ridiculous in English. Actually, no, a yoker. You pronounce it yoker, but yeah, this is how you write it. And this is not pronounced freak, but freek. I also know freek. I know a yoke and a freak. Yeah, joke and freak. My name can be kind of be like pronounced English, because you pronounce it Merel, but you could pronounce it like Meryl. I can't pronounce it because I can't pronounce the English R, but like Meryl Streep. It's not that weird a name. If you live in the lowlands long enough, you may eventually have to compose an email that starts with the phrase, "Dear Joker," or better yet, "Hello, Freek." So how English people would say it, "Dear Joke," or better yet, "Hello, Freek." We can assure that you will have difficulty keeping a straight face when introducing your friend Floor to your friend Taco. The regular names. The reality is that most Dutch names sound ridiculous in English. You may have seen the Fokkers. So a fokker is someone who breeds animals on the silver screen, but you probably didn't know that the Netherlands is full of fokkers. Names like Door, Harm, and Kok. Okay, but English people still have the name Dick. It's the same as Kok. And I don't know anyone whose name is Kok. That's a really weird name to have. I was sure to produce quizzical looks or giggles from English-speaking folks. Thinking of having a child with international prospects, we suggest avoiding names that start with a J. Jaap, Jarno, Joost, and Joop, and their good friends Jurgen, Jort, and Jelle aren't going to have an easy time explaining how to pronounce their names outside of the lowlands. Well, neither do I, Merel. My parents have just, international names. Kind of, my dad's name is more French, I guess, than anything, but Oh, I was like, what weird names are these? Especially the girls' ones, but these are phonetic. So we have Shak, Shako, Shaki, Shako, Sham, Shan, Shastra, Chef, Shay, Sheng. I've never heard more than half of these names. Shimmy, Shinky, Shurt, Shumali, Shors, Shorsche, Shurn, Shakandra. I don't know any of these names. Half of them are not Dutch names, I can promise you. Shamana, Shan, Shanette, Janique, Janine, Janouk, Charlie, Charlotte, Shastra, Shel, Shora, Shorsche, Sjoeke, Sjouke, Sjoukje, Schulke. Schulke. Most of them are with a j, not a sh. Yeah. Yeah, this is real name. Dick de Kok. Naakt geboren, born naked. Dennis naakt geboren, he writes for a paper here in the Netherlands. Zonder broek, without pants. Fokje modder, which means... Fokje doesn't really mean anything, but yeah. Fok is breed, to breed animals. And modder means mud. Pannenkoek, pancake. Aarsman, assman. Fair enough. Zonder kop, without head. Tina Cox, Dutch politician. Nijskok, Weird Duck, journalist. Robin Hoedjes, Benny Dood, I'm Not Dead. Hey, if you're wondering about those silly surnames, naakt geboren, born naked, Poepjes, Poepies, Holvast, Esquip, Klootwijk, village of Bols. In the time that Napoleon ruled the Netherlands, a lot of Dutch didn't really have a last name or something like the son of name, like Klaaszoon, Janszoon, so like the son of. So every Dutchie was obliged to pick a surname and register it. A lot of us didn't take it seriously and took the most silly names to screw with Napoleon, or they thought it would all blow over. But it didn't. And now we have silly names like those. Oh, but Jiske says, this is not totally true. Many people in the southern and western parts of the Netherlands did have surnames before Napoleon ruled. Most people in the northern parts did not have surnames. Those who did have surnames were mostly wealthier immigrants from Germany, France, or the southern or western parts of the Netherlands. Yeah, my surname Melchers, it comes from Melchior, which is a river in Germany. So my last name originates from Germany, which is why it's not ridiculous. King's Day, formerly known as Queen's Day, and you see how much we love orange. I saw a comment in here though, Dutch people actually do not like orange. You never see anyone wearing orange unless it's Queen's Day or there's a sports match. Which is true, we actually really hate the colour orange. Pretty bad anyway. For a nation which often prides itself on normal behaviour and following the rules, King's Day is truly nothing of the sort. It's the one day of the year where the Dutch break all their self-imposed rules and let loose in a way that puts all other nations to shame. Say that King's Day is the world's greatest party is nothing short of an understatement. Simply put, King's Day is epic. And it is currently being celebrated on the 27th of April. Dat kan niet, which means that's impossible. And I hate that a lot of people in the Netherlands, their response to everything is, dat kan niet, that's impossible. And I really hate that. Dat kan niet, dat kan wel. That's not possible. Yes, it is. If you arrive in the lowlands speaking very little Dutch, you will quickly pick up on a few essential phrases. One of Dutch people's favorite phrases, dat kan niet, essentially translating to a simple but curt, that cannot be done. An even more annoying version is dat mag niet, which manifests into the more assertive and dictating, that may not be done. Used for both are endless, but they are most often employed as a conversation killer. For instance, I need my internet fixed this week, dat kan niet, end of conversation. Would like to have no mayonnaise on my sandwich please, dat kan niet, end of conversation. Can I pay with a credit card, dat mag niet, end of conversation. Impossibly steep stairs. I hate them. When I was little, I always used to fall off stairs because this is what stairs look like in the Netherlands. I fell off stairs in my own home, friends' homes, in the library, at school. I always fell off stairs, and I'm really scared of stairs. My house where I live in now has some very steep stairs, like the steepest I've ever had, and they are so hard. It takes me so long still to walk up the stairs. I'm not used to it yet. Like my sister just jumps off the stairs. She doesn't care, she just runs off them. But I can't. The Dutch are masters of treacherously steep stairs. Dutch stairs mimic vertical mountainsides and require grueling daily skills. The ladder-like contraptions often require the use of all fours and ninja-like balance. I used to do that as a kid, go down on all fours or just go down on my butt. Why does my camera suck? But I can walk downstairs now, but not very fast. Let's see what the community has to say. Everyone that comes to my place complains about the narrow staircase, and they are Dutch but have lived in post-war housing all their lives. Loved those stairs as a kid. Slided down a couple on a mattress was awesome. That's the only appropriate way to go down Dutch stairs. The steep and narrow stairs in Dutch houses are indeed a menace if you don't grow up with them. If you do, you just race up and down them with learned brain-body athleticism. My sister does, I don't know how. I must say that my partner touched fell from one of them and broke his leg. My Australian ex-mum-in-law fell down the stairs in my house. She was so not accustomed to stairs in the first place. 90% of the houses in Australia are one level. Then the steep stairs, curvy stairs here in a normal Dutch rental house. They're insane, aren't they? My great-aunt lives in an ancient house in The Hague, and the stairs are more like a ladder. She's 80 plus, not very agile, more dreading the day that she misjudged the stairs. Mike says, I have one of these and secretly enjoy in anticipation the look on visitors' faces when they enter my apartment. Not Amsterdam, but Gouda has its share of death traps as well. Sinterklaas. So we already had Black Pete. This is the St. Nicholas, and it's what the holiday is named after. And here you see a boy with a carrot in his shoe by the furnace. So you put your shoe there, you leave a carrot for the horse of St. Nicholas. Then St. Nicholas comes down, or Black Pete. Either Black Pete or St. Nicholas takes the carrot from your shoe and gives it to the horse, and you get sweets in return or a little present. And you do that every night until the 5th of December, when you get a big bag full of presents. You've seen the imagery all over town, that old dude with long white hair and the big pointy red hat. You also know those pesky black-faced fellas he hangs out with, the ones who've ripped paper notes at your head. You've joined in the heated Zwarte Pieten debate, and you've eaten your chocolate initial at work, but what really is the deal with this whole Sinterklaas thing? Basically all you need to know is that Sinterklaas is the most beloved of all Dutch traditions and holidays, and one of the Dutch people are fiercely proud of. Don't you dare go messing about with this very gezellig affair. Check out our handy guide below to help you survive the madness. Everything you need to know about Sinterklaas. Where does this old dude and his black-faced friends come from? Sinterklaas is said to have originated from St. Nicholas, the bishop of Myra, who lived in Turkey in the 3rd century. According to the legend, he saved the town from starvation, revived a couple of dead children, and offered gifts of dowries to poor girls so they didn't have to become prostitutes. Hence, a pretty saintly dude. How does he get to the lowlands? Nowadays, he sails in from Spain on a ship in late November and rides about town on a white stallion named Amerigo. Don't ask. With a handful of energetic black-faced friends who throw things at people for fun. They throw little candy, like little cookies, like ginger cookies. I don't know what they're called in America, but little cookies, and they throw them at children, and the children catch them and eat them. It's all in good fun. But nowadays, usually the kids just hold up their hands, and the Black Pete puts candy in their hands. But sometimes they still throw it, and as children, you have to catch the candy and eat it. Huh? Who are these black guys? Elves? Bodyguards? These, my friends, are Zwarte Piets, Sint's mischievous helpers, and they can be seen everywhere about town, finally whipping hardstone like cookies, aka pepernoten. children and passers-by. Duck. No, that's maybe in Amsterdam where the author lives, but they just like give candy to children who hold out their hands. They don't just throw it at people, not anymore at least. So we also celebrate Christmas. So here's a handy guide, the difference between Santa Claus, that children believe in, and Sinterklaas. Now children believe in both, and they are completely different people. So he wears casual red and white outfit, and he has a formal church attire. He is jovial, friendly, joyful, and punctual, elderly, stately, serious, almost senile at times, needs his Peter often to remind him of things. He's old, very overweight, slight drinking problem. Yeah, old but lean and fit. He's from the North Pole, he's from Spain. His family, Mrs. Claus, he has none. Help his elves, Zwarte Pieten. I'm just gonna read the rest of this because I won't focus. Transportation, Santa Claus flying reindeer sleigh. Sinterklaas arrives in the Netherlands on steamboat called Pakjesboot 12 and it switches to a white horse named Amerigo, which can walk on rooftops and jump far distances. Don't ask. Delivery, Santa delivers the gifts himself via the chimney. Sinterklaas waits on the rooftop where Zwarte Pieten do the work. Santa's gifts are made in his elaborate toy factory on the North Pole and placed on the Christmas tree. Sinterklaas, children traditionally place their shoes around the chimney or stove or radiator nowadays and put a carrot or some hay and water nearby for Sinterklaas' horse. I don't get it. Why are their faces painted black? Please, save yourself the trouble and don't go asking this question in your Dutch workplace. You won't make any friends. Wait, am I allowed to say anything critical about the Sinterklaas edition? No. That's just what it says. No, the hell you're not. Birthday calendar. We have calendars just to mark birthdays. Step into any Dutch home and you'll be sure to find one particular household oddity, the birthday calendar, verjaardagskalender. And where on earth would you find such an odd item? Well, the most logical place. The toilet, of course. The Dutch are above all practical, and where else would such an item not be overlooked? So you put this on the door to your toilet, or if you're not facing the door when you sit on the toilet, just the wall that you face at. So while you're doing your business, you can see when the birthdays are of people there, you know, your family or friends or co-workers or whatever. So you just get a calendar like this, and they make special ones for birthdays. And on each day you write the birthdays of the names. You don't have to switch them out every year because they don't say like Monday or Tuesday or something on them, just the dates. And you hang them in the toilet, so while you're doing your business you can look at them and be reminded of people's birthdays. A Dutch person must never forget another Dutch person's birthday. Doing so constitutes a major sin in the lowlands. Dutch people can happily consult their handy birthday calendar while quietly going about their business on their porcelain throne. Remember, this calendar is not your everyday calendar. It is not to note your next dental appointment or that dreaded dinner at your colleague's house. The toilet's calendar's sole purpose is to record birthdays, plus it is a perpetual calendar, sans dates or years. Forsaken, you need to purchase or update it every year. Very efficient and thrifty. Yes, same, Charlotte says. Hahaha, I never realized that a birthday calendar is typically Dutch. Also common practice, writing a name of someone you don't know that well with a pencil. Yeah, so you can rub it out. If you think, well, I need to remember it this year, but I don't know them that well, so you write with pencil. My grandma has a calendar like that on her bathroom, and she just has names crossed out on it. Not working. Don't know what this one's about yet, so let's read it. Yes, you read the title correctly. Dutch people like to work and to not work. In fact, they like to not work so much that they've actually become experts at it and are now the best in the European Union at doing so, not working, that is. The Dutch work the fewest hours of any other nation in the European Union. Is that true? I didn't know that. Which pretty much means in the world which pretty much means in the world, since we all know that the EU is a pretty cushy place to work. And here you thought that the French were the ones spending their days sipping coffee, shopping for baguettes and playing bowls. Well, I guess again, the Dutch are pretty darn clever at enjoying the good life. I didn't know that. We work about 9 hours a day for 5 days a week. That's like the regular type job. Is that not... Is that the lowest? On average, people in the EU work only 37.5 hours a week, but here in the Lowlands, Dutch people clock in an average of just 30.6 hours per week. Okay, sure, my dad works like 50 hours a week, but I think in the Netherlands we have a lot of both parents, both the mum and the dad, work part-time, so that drags down the average. I think that's what's going on here. Because, that's not a regular work week for someone who works full-time, but I think we have less people working full-time. We don't have the men working full-time and the woman not working. We usually have both people working part-time, not the men working full-time and the woman working part-time, just both part-time, which means that the average of, hours worked by people who work goes down. But, yeah. The average North American works between 44 to 52 hours per week. Yeah, that's a full work week here in the Netherlands as well. But that's only for people who work full-time, so I think this is when people work part-time. I'm not really sure why this happens, but the 30.6 hour work week is not a full-time work week. Cows that say boo, and other Dutch animals lost in translations. Moo. No, boo. Yeah, our cows say boo. I mean, no cock, rooster. Oh, but I can't say that, it starts with now. Rooster says kukkeleku. That's what they say. What the fuck is he saying? Kukkeleku, 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 kukkeleku. Yeah, but every language is different. Yes. Tiny sinks with only cold water. I have an aunt and uncle who live in the US, and they don't like it that we only have cold water. They always put on the hot tap, because in some houses, you have hot and cold water now. But this is just like in the toilet, and then in the bathroom you can choose. But they always want to put on the warm water, even though it takes a while for the water to get warm. Like, in the time that they're waiting for it to get warm, I already wash my hands. And it's just for your hands and sometimes your face. To brush your teeth. Why should it be warm? But yeah, the tiny sinks, I never really have a problem with them. I've heard of other people, can't use them, everything around it gets wet. I don't really mind the tiny sinks. The mystery of the tiny Dutch toilet sink is a perplexing one to which we can't seem to get a straight answer. Why the heck can you only find cold water in these sinks? Why would you need hot water? Hot water is more expensive, it's worse for the environment to use it, because you usually use gas or electricity. And electricity, is not bad for the environment in itself, but the way that you get electricity is through, gas or other natural resources. And why would you need warm water just to wash your hands? You're not taking a bath in it. Why is there only one lonely tap? Why would you need two? Why would you ever need warm water just to wash your hands? And why is its only job to provide glacial H2O? What could possibly be the reason for said torture? Why? We ask, why? Stop bitching about it, seriously. Being tall. We already discussed this. Dutch people are one of the tallest people in the world. The average Dutch man measures at 1.837 meters or 6 feet and 1 inches, and their lengthy female counterparts a respectable 1.693 meters or 5 feet 6.5 inches. And here's looking down the rest of the world. The Netherlands, the highest people, between 1.8 and 1.85 meters. Then we have the USA at just above 1.75 meters. Then Canada at exactly 1.75. England at exactly 1.75. India at 1.65 meters. And the Philippines between 1.6 and 1.65 meters. I'm kind of short for a Dutch person. I'm 1.6 meters. Which I have no idea what that is in feet or inches or whatever. Swearing with diseases. We do this a lot. You know how you say like, oh, for fuck's sake, or, you know, fuck or douchebag or something. We use diseases with that. We use cancer. That's the only disease I think we use that is still current. Other diseases we use are tuberculosis and cholera. I think mostly tuberculosis and cholera, which most people don't get anymore, but cancer is still a big one that we use. A crash course in swearing in Dutch. Dutch swears can be grouped into 3 main categories. Relating to religion, God damn it, hell, Jesus Christ. Relating to illness, krijg de kanker, get cancer. Krijg de pest, catch the plague. Krijg de kleren, get cholera. Relating to sexuality, klootzak, baalsack, similar to the English swear asshole. Eikel, acorn, comparable to the English staple dickhead. Speaking in expressions, we do that a lot and we don't translate them, so we use Dutch expressions that make no sense if you translate them directly, like you know, the literal translation, but we still use the literal translation of expressions that don't make sense when you literally translate them when we're speaking English. The monkeys are out of the sleeve. That doesn't mean anything in English, but we will still say it. I think the funniest I've heard was one of our Dutch singers, Nick from Nick and Simon. He said, we fell through the basket, which means you were exposed. Once you start to understand the language, you will see that Dutch expressions can be grouped into 3 categories. 1. Expressions relating to farm life. These involve the beloved Dutch cows, farmers, fields, windmills, etc. 2. Expressions relating to the enduring Dutch weather. These involve wind, rain, sun, or sea. 3. Expressions that make no sense at all. The latter is indeed, of course, our favourite. One can only handle so much talk of wind and rain. Something truly bizarre. Als de hemel valt, krijgen we allemaal een blauwe pet. The translation is, if the sky or heaven should fall, we will all be wearing blue caps or hats. Huh? Say that again? They don't even explain. It's just like, yeah, that's why will it never? Okay, kind of. Another one is, I was saying the obvious. Als het regent in september, valt kerstmis in december. If it rains in September, Christmas will be in December. So that's why Christmas falls in December every year, because it always rains in September. Helaas pindakaas. Oh well, peanut butter. Next thing you needed here, right? Right? Oh well, peanut butter. If you say it like that. But helaas pindakaas, it rhymes. It's different. Oh well, peanut butter. Okay. Some more expressions. Nu komt de aap uit de mouw. Now the monkey comes out of the sleeve. Now the cat is out of the bag. Het leven is een pijpkaneel. Ieder zuigt eraan en krijgt zijn deel. Life is like a candy stick. Everyone sucks on it and gets their share. Jij weet nooit hoe een koe een haas vangt. Who knows how a cow catches a hare? You never know. We could just say that, but we don't. Ik plak je achter het behang en ga verhuizen. I'll paste you behind the wallpaper and then move away. Zoals de waard is, vertrouwt hij zijn gasten. How the innkeeper is, that's how he treats his guests. Il doers are il dimas. Al draagt een aap een gouden ring, het is en blijft een lelijk ding. Even with a golden ring, a monk remains an ugly thing. You can put lipstick on a pig, it's still a pig. Dit slaat als een lul op een drumstaal. This hits like a male genital on a drum. It's BS. I don't know why we say it like that. Lul, it's like dick. I think that's the best translation. Like penis, dick, cock. Lul is dick. This hits like a dick on a drum. Hele because it rhymes and it's funny. White leggings are a thing. We have the men who wore the red pants, and we have the women who wear the white leggings. I'm gonna flip through this because already bescheid met meisjes. So this is anijs. I don't know the English translation, but white with pink. You eat that when a girl is born, and you eat white with blue when a boy is born. So on like a party where you go view the baby, this is what people will serve. Yeah, and orange muisjes were sold en masse for 1 week in December 2003 to honor of the birth of Crown Princess Amalia. Orange muisjes, so these things, mean that a royal baby is born. Suspicious spreads. The words Dutch and lunch are sure to lead to disappointment. There's no way around it. Dutch lunch is a very sorry affair. It involves a lot of dairy, a lot of bread, and a lot of smearing. The sooner you can get used to eating bread smeared with some indiscernible lumpy matter, confusingly referred to as salad or filet, the better. To be honest, I don't even know what this is. But filet américain, I don't know why we call it that, because I don't think Americans eat it. It literally means like American filet. It said French for some reason. But that's actually really good. I don't eat meat anymore, but I really love this. These salads, we have 3 of them at home right now, and I love them so much. We have 3 of them at home. Right now we have shrimp and garlic, egg and mayo, and I think hot chicken, like spicy chicken. I tried out some kip satay, pureed chicken and peanut sauce, or garnalen knoflook, blended shrimp and garlic smear. I love that one. We have it at home right now. I actually had it for dinner on bread. The blended shrimp and garlic smear on bread. I had that for dinner. Or farmer salad, blended farmer. Farmer salad has just like just random vegetables in it. Will involve copious amounts of mayonnaise just to ensure that you also consume 99% fat and 1% goodness on your whole wheat bread. Yeah, they're mostly mayonnaise. Do normal. I hate this so much. I love that they included it, because that's really a thing that's still very much part of our culture. Be normal. Do normal. I hate it so much. Just let me be. Stop trying me to be normal. Because usually, like, being normal is just be like me. That's what people mean when they say be normal. Because I'm not, like, very abnormal. I just don't do the things the same way that maybe someone else does. And they are like, oh, be normal. No, fuck off. Delaying marriage? Is that a thing that we do? A Dutch friend of mine just got engaged. She's in her mid-30s and has been with the Dutch man in question for many years, so it shouldn't really come as such a surprise. But it did, because she's been living with this guy for over 10 years and they've had 2 children together, not to mention a fairly pricey downtown Amsterdam apartment. So why would marriage suddenly be so important now? I don't know about this. My parents never got married. Because they think it's stupid to involve the government. They're not religious anyway, so like, why would you? Like, they live together and that's fine. They don't like big parties anyway. Why get married? But yeah, maybe that is a Dutch thing. Infiltrating English. You have Dutch gold, going Dutch, Dutch widow, Dutch courage, Dutch defense, Dutch bargain, Dutch uncle. We actually also have some very famous words like apartheid. Apartheid, I think, is our most famous word. Afrikaans, you know, the language, the name of the language, Afrikaans, that's Dutch. It's spoken in South Africa, both English and Afrikaans. And Afrikaans actually has a lot of Dutch words in it. Because the Dutch first colonized South Africa, then the English took it from us, then we took it from the English, and then finally the English took it from us. So they speak both Dutch and English there. But apartheid is one of the most famous words, and dope, D-O-P-E, is actually really, it's getting dark in here. I was really surprised to learn. I learned at university I was taking a linguistics course, and dope apparently is a word that originates from Dutch, which is weird because the spelling makes it look like it's English, but it's not. So I think dope and apartheid are both equally famous, maybe with different demographics. And that's it. That was the book. Stuff Dutch people like. And I really like this book, it's very truthful. I think I found out through this book that I actually do like the Dutch directness. Don't ask me how I'm doing if you don't want to know. Just say what you mean. And it's like, I've always said, you know, we are the country of the land of the free. We were the first country in the world to legalize gay marriage, the first in the world to legalize active euthanasia. A lot of countries, including the UK, still don't have legal active euthanasia. We have legal prostitution. Weed has been legal for a long time. But then we also have these rules that we impose on ourselves that they're not laws, like be normal. You know, you have to breastfeed, you have to have natural birth, you have to do this, you have to do that. Like, according to our laws, we are so free, but then we impose a lot of rules on ourselves. I really don't like that about the Netherlands, but I still like our country, I guess. Another thing is we're not very patriotic. Most Dutch people aren't that patriotic. Like, the Netherlands is not the best country in the world just because I was born here. But it's okay. It's definitely an okay country. Well, this video is already an hour long, so I am going to leave you guys. It's already getting dark as well. The lighting sucks in here right now. I'm glad I remembered to turn on the light, otherwise you guys wouldn't be seeing anything right now. So